camera a little bit higher today than I usually do. Hopefully that will let us see better in the videos. I was reviewing some of the videos that I took the other day. They were really shitty. And I'm trying to look up more. Which, incidentally, means no looking at the gauges. So, you'll see me do that quite a bit. Anyway, I guess I can touch on my first topic. I think it was something for toast. I'm sorry, I'm horrible with names, but your name involves toast. Talked about how you bought your bike because you're only 19. I myself am 19. I paid cash for my bike. I found it used with less than 2,000 miles on it, so I went ahead and bought it. I thought that $2,000 for this bike was really reasonable, since it MSRP's for slightly more than the Ninja. Ordinarily, if I were to finance a bike, which seems to be the typical method for buying, I would have had to have a cosigner. Because when I went to inquire about getting a loan from the dealership for the bike that I wanted, I was actually torn between a FZ6R and the Ninja 250. They turned me down because they said that I had excellent short-term credit, that my credit was as close to perfect as it can be for a 19-year-old, but I had limited credit history. And I went to talk to a bank about that to see if there was any way to get around it, and basically the way to get around it is to have a cosigner, because the bank wants you to have a minimum of 2 years of solid credit history. Being 19, you only have 1, because you don't really start to establish a credit beacon score until you turn 18. So, unfortunately, despite the fact that when you turn 19 in this state, you can get a motorcycle license, you still have to get help buying your motorcycle. Unless you pay cash, just save up. That's like the 3rd or 4th bike I've seen today that has not waved. How rude. This is a little bit awkward. The camera feels like it's sliding down into the helmet more, since my face is a little bit sweaty and it's still pushing on my face. And I feel like there's going to be a lot of wind noise in this video, so it may not even get aired. I may not even keep it, might throw it out immediately. This, by the way, is 522, a little road that runs between Winchester, Virginia, Stephen City, Virginia, Front Royal, a bunch of little places like that. And these are all places in the Shenandoah Valley area, which I really want to capture on film. I mean, you can see, I hope, rolls of hay, fences, all that fun stuff, clouds. There's a lot of really pretty, the silo over there, a lot of really pretty things on these drives that I'd like to have on film, because I don't think anybody's really motorcycle vlogged the Northern Virginia area. What the hell is on the road? So, I planned on doing Northern Virginia, West Virginia, but I'm really thinking I'm going to have to get a better camera set up before I can attempt that. I mean, this is a short ride. It's going to be like 10 minutes or something. But, it's just too uncomfortable to have for a long ride. Especially since it feels like it's sliding out the bottom of the helmet right now. I didn't Velcro it because it's insanely difficult to get it in there with Velcro the way I have it in there. I just have it kind of wedged in the front. So my nose is completely bent sideways. And again, I have no clue what you guys are looking at. And I'm actually out of things to talk about. That was the only topic I had, was how I bought my bike. Modifications. I know that I'm going to go up to a 600 eventually. You know, I just bought this bike to learn the standard skills on. But eventually I am going to want a 600. So I was thinking maybe just redoing the exhaust and putting you know, a couple little things. LED turn signals for more visibility. Hello. What else? I was going to do maybe a rear hugger. When I first bought the bike, like the first day I had it, I'd never ridden a motorcycle before, and I hopped on it and I dropped it. So I cracked the turn signal lens. It's entirely my fault. I'm not going to, you know, try and blame it on the weather or somebody else. It's my fault. I dropped it. So I bought a new turn signal lens. I'm thinking about taking the, sorry, hand in my helmet there. Taking the little handle off the back seat. I think it'd look better without it. I said before, this bike looks like a 600, you know, to the casual observer. So if I take that handle off, I think it really would more resemble a 600. And I guess that's not really the goal, since, you know, it's very obviously a 250. But whatever, you know, it makes me happy. Trusting my fiance here to a really pretty shot of the sky. I hope I got that. Can't see shit. Yeah, trusting my fiance to set the speed here. So who knows how fast we're going. That building, that's Special Made. They are a company that custom makes plastic products, or if other companies make plastic products, they can ship them here to have them customized to specifications of other companies. I haven't figured out what purpose they serve yet, but I think they're a front, because there's an FBI building sitting right behind it. My fiance and I went up there when we first moved to the area, and we actually went up to the door to see it. It looks like a call center from the outside, you know, and I was desperately looking for work in the area. So we go up to the door, and the armed guard greets us at the door with their hand on her gun, and we said, you know, we're just trying to figure out what's going on here. And she got this panicked look in her eyes, and she's like, well, what do you mean what's going on? You know, thinking something was going down. And so, you know, I apologized to her. I was just trying to find out who owned the building. And she told me, you know, it's the FBI. So we got out of there pretty quick. And now, come to think of it, whenever I go get gas or anything at this little local gas station up here, there are always unmarked cars there, and they don't have police tags on them, but they always have antennas and stuff. And they're the classic, like, Ford Crown Victoria police car. And I've come to find out they're actually FBI vehicles. So I think the Special Made is a front. Almost home here. This is CVS by our house, or apartment.